What? What? Why you look so sad? He's sad. Be glad.
Are we there? Are we finally live? Guys, Hurricane Ian has been crazy, messing everything up.
Woo! Yes, indeed. Yes,
Goodness
indeed.
gracious, man. I think we are. If we are a little laggy, we apologize, but we're just working with the things we were given. Okay, Mother Nature can be a bitch, but that's fine. That's fine. And we're excited to be back, though. We're very excited to be back to do the show. A lot of good entertainment news to talk about. But before we get into that, let me adjust some lights and tease the rest of the show, or pay tribute to people of Ian and all that good stuff. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, well, you know how it goes, guys. Yeah, of course, we would like to send our best wishes and prayers and thoughts to everybody that was affected by the hurricane in Florida and the Carolinas and anywhere else that it kind of made some impact on. It's never easy. We worked in news, as you guys know. We covered a lot of these storms. We know what it is and what it can do, and the recovery. It's not always a simple task, a simple thing. So our thoughts and prayers are with you guys, and best of wishes, and we'll be thinking about y'all. And man, yeah, so much stuff going on this week, guys. You guys know we are the definitive source. If you're new to watching this for the first time, we are the definitive source for entertainment news in the podcast world. We got you covered every which way from every major studio and mini studios and everywhere in between. And boy, did Netflix unload a lot of stuff from their event this week. We've got you covered with all that. Disney making some moves, Marvel Studios, some really freaking awesome, some like, why are they doing that? All kinds of stuff. Tarzan, he's coming back.
Back.
Like, what? Yeah. So you want to know what that's about? We got you covered. Plus, oh my gosh, guys, we do celebrity interviews. Just wait until you hear what this one's going to be. This week, you're going to love it. It's going to be amazing. So, Top 5. We do top 5. We're the only place that does all of it, guys. We got your entertainment news. We got celebrity interviews. We've got box office results. We've got IMDb Pro Star Meter toppers. We've got top 5 lists. It's everything. It's everything. It is the only place where you get it all.
It's true, man. It's true. And we're super excited. Good to go. Do a little stretch back and forth.
Yeah, good to be back.
Yes, but you guys know it is a podcast, so it's going to be the promo first for social media, and then we're going to work our way into the actual show for the listeners, and it's going to be rocking and rolling. So let's get this thing started. We love sharing a little bit behind the scenes with you, too, so you guys get to see if you ever wanted to do a podcast. So it's very easy. It's very easy. All right, so we'll do a promo first, and we promise we know we're repeating ourselves. So don't say anything. Don't say anything.
Don't say anything.
What's up, guys? We're back. Yes, that's right. Episode 208 is coming at you, and that means it's available right now if you're watching this video. And boy, we got a very special guest for you.
Woo, man. You know how we love Zoe's extraordinary playlist. Well, we've got another extraordinary guest from the show, Mr. John Clarence Stewart himself. Were you Team Simon?
Yes.
Were you Team Simon?
Yes.
Yes, this guy was. This is an outstanding interview. You guys are not going to want to miss. He shares so much. It gets deep. It gets funny. It's just an amazing interview. Plus, we're not the only ones back. Marvel had a huge announcement that blew up the internet, and we're going to tell you all about that. I think you're going to be pretty excited. He is the best he is at what he does.
That's right, man. That's right. But guys, be sure to like and subscribe. Everybody hurts sometimes. Well, I mean, I know I'm great at singing, but we have an even better performer coming on today.
Yes.
The one, the only, John Clarence Stewart, man, from Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist and P-Valley most recently.
Yes, you know him. You love him. Of course, Simon, you guys know. Were you Team Simon? Were you not Team Simon? I was Team Max, but I loved Simon. I just wanted to get him his shit together, and we talk about that pretty hilariously so.
Exactly, man. It's a great interview. I think a lot of up-and-comers are going to love this, and a lot of people just going through life, trying to figure out what they want to do and trying to figure out, is it okay to step out of that box sometimes? And guys, it is. Definitely listen to this interview. You're going to love it. But that's later on the show. Now, let's get a little crazy. No, man, welcome back. Episode 208 of Inside the Crazy Ant Farm. Holy moly, you guys know your host with the most, myself, J-Lo Fantastic, and the one and only Mal.
What's up?
Guys, before we tease the rest of the show, be sure to leave a rating on the podcast, comment below wherever you're listening or watching, and tell us what you think about the show. Leaving a rating actually helps the podcast get seen by more people, definitely those who enjoy the entertainment news or people who are trying to break into the entertainment industry. We give them the tools and the knowledge to prepare themselves to be in the room where it happens. And that's what it's all about, man, passing that torch on to the next person coming up. And that's what us here at Crazy Ant Media love to do. Be sure to follow at Crazy Ant Media and at ItCap Podcast on social media everywhere.
Yes.
But man, oh man, there's a lot of good stuff happening this week that we can't wait to talk to you about, because one of our favorites is coming back to the MCU. Man, oh man.
Here's a little clue if you missed it. He's the best there is at what he does.
It's true.
But what he does isn't very nice.
Yeah.
You know who it is. You know who it is. I can't wait to talk about that.
And I mean, he's got a great name. I'm just saying.
I mean, he does.
He does have a great name. But before we get this thing started, guys.
He's got both your names.
Both of them.
Yeah,
exactly.
both. Comic book geeks know what I'm talking about.
Exactly. Okay? Before we get this thing started, be sure to head over to our website, www.crazyantmedia.com, where you can start rocking the latest and greatest Crazy Ant Media gear. We got shirts, we got hats, we have everything you need for this upcoming holiday season.
Yes.
And we do have sales going on, so be sure to follow us at those places I just told you so you can know when those sales are happening, so you can stay prepared with everything going down here at Crazy Ant Media. But something that's been very interesting at Disney just
going
recently,
down.
going down at Disney, is Disney's suite of 20 TV channels was just yanked off of Dish Network satellite television and Sling TV services for customers all across the United States after the two companies failed to reach a carriage renewal deal yesterday. Disney networks are no longer on Dish TV and Sling TV, including ESPN, FX, Disney Channel, Freeform, National Geographic, and a couple of other ones as well, like ABC local stations in 8 markets. Now, the two companies' previously carriage contract expired at midnight Pacific time on September 30th. Dish is notorious, the pay TV service, for aggressive negotiating tactics with content companies like this, and hasn't been afraid to sit through an extended blackout period to try to gain favorable terms on their side. So we'll see what happens. I mean, Disney needs to be everywhere, so we'll see if they come up with an agreement, but I'm sure they will.
Yeah, they always do at some point. They're just, but it sucks for all y'all out there that can't watch any of it. I mean, that it really sucks for y'all, but we will let you know. Hopefully it's up long before next week's show.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys know before we have to tell you. That
Exactly.
would suck. All right. The biggest news by far of the week, without doubt, is this right here. As I said, he's the best there is at what he does, and he's back. In the news that nobody was expecting to hear, but everybody's thrilled about, Hugh Jackman will be back as Wolverine in Deadpool 3. You heard that correctly. Hugh Jackman, who said he would never come back. He was done. He can't do it anymore. It's physically too tiring. Not going to happen. Well, it's happening. Ryan Reynolds made the official announcement on his social media platforms. Deadpool 3 also has an official release date, which is September 6th of 2024. Now, this one caused all kinds of excitement, but then all kinds of questions like, wait a minute, Logan died. How is this possible? If you guys remember correctly, Logan is set in the future, 2029. So it could be the same Logan because it's not 2029, and if it's set in present day. But it's also kind of, Ryan Reynolds kind of hinted that it's maybe not the same Logan, and it's not even going to mess with that storyline or that movie. So we all know the multiverse exists. Are these alternates? Is Deadpool and Logan going to be alternates from another world? So I don't know. We're going to find out, though, and I'm just pumped as hell.
I completely agree. And they released this information in such classic Hugh and Ryan form. Man, oh, man. You guys got to go back on social media and watch their videos together. They did like a quick little snippet announcement video, and then they did kind of a further explanation, but not really. But it's hilarious, guys. Be sure to check those out. And we're super excited because we're big fans of both of these characters, and especially with them being rated R.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, we're to finally get to see the two of them in a movie together with an R rating,
Yeah.
that's going to be freaking epic. The real question, the only question left that everybody's asking, will Hugh don the suit? Will we see Logan put on the suit finally? The right suit, not that black leather stuff, the actual comic book accurate suit. I'm thinking yes.
We'll see,
I'm
man.
thinking yes.
We
I
shall
don't know.
see. But other exciting things are happening at Marvel Studios, and that is shaking things up with their content that they were planning to roll out later this year. And we're talking about Armor Wars. Now,
Mm.
that one was supposed to be a series for Disney Plus, but now it's being redeveloped as a feature film.
Oh,
The move essentially pushes back the title further down the development slate, though. Sources say that the studio was committed in getting the story told the right way, and in that the process realized that the feature was better suited for this project. Like all Marvel movies, though, it is intended for theatrical release. Don Cheadle, who is reprising his role as the longtime cinematic universe role as Colonel James Rhodey Rhodes, aka War Machine, remains on board to star,
of
of
course.
course. Yes, sir. Lester, who was acting as the head writer on the series, will remain as its the feature scribe.
You
And
interested in this one?
Marvel had been eyeing a 2023 start production for this series, though. But a few people were gearing up for that. We're notified on Thursday of the change of direction. No directors have been officially attached to this one. It is unclear when Armor Wars feature would even pop up in the timeline, even. But we're interested to see what develops from all of this. And I mean, if the story continues the way it does, I'm very excited for it,
Me
because to
too.
see him after the death of Tony, I think that's going to be very, very key.
For sure. And there's been rumors that he's going to pop up in Thunderbolt. So my guess was where in the timeline would be somewhere around there
Yeah.
that we're going to see it. I don't know, but that's my guess. That's not it. Blade no longer has a director. Bassem Tariq gone from the helm. Blade, which has a release date of November 3rd of next year, which means that shit needs to get shooting. It was gearing up to begin shooting next month in Atlanta. It's unclear how his departure will impact the production start of the vampire action thriller, which has, of course, Oscar winner Marcella Ali in the title role, with the cast also including Delroy Lindo and old actor Aaron Pierre. Now, Marvel Studios did release a statement saying, quote, due to continued shifts in our production schedule, Bassam is no longer moving forward as director of Blade, but will remain as an executive producer on the film. We appreciate Bassam's talent and all the work he's done getting Blade to where it is. Tariq then thanked Marvel in his own statement, saying, quote, it's been an honor working with the wonderful folks at Marvel. We were able to put together a killer cast and a crew, eager to see where the next director takes the film. Now, Blade has seen its start of production shift at least once before, I think twice, if I'm not mistaken. And sources say the project has undergone several rounds of script writes, which we've heard from sources that Marcella Ali, that might be one of the problems. He was not so on board with the story.
Yeah, I'm worried that it's gonna be. I'm not gonna lie. I'm worried it's gonna kind of be like Venom. Let There Be Carnage, because rumor has it there's only like 90 pages right now, very much like an hour and a half, maybe a little more, maybe a little less film. And I just don't want them to rush this thing, because it could be really special.
Oh, for sure, especially if they're going to introduce the street heroes and
Yeah.
and into that world, or even the darker side. I mean, that we saw in the Eternals. Like I just think, yeah, don't mess it up.
Yeah.
Don't mess it up.
Completely agree. This next one is sad, but it makes sense. James Earl Jones, the legendary actor and voice of Darth Vader, nearly 50 years of filmmaking with Star Wars, is stepping away from this role.
Mm.
The 91-year-old has signed off on archival voice recordings being used by young filmmakers who plan to utilize artificial intelligence for speech technology to recreate Jones's younger voice from his previous films for the future films from Lucasfilm. Now, I know that was a lot of from Lucasfilm, all the good stuff. But Jones first voiced the famed film villain in the original 1977 Star Wars. The fucking while David Prowse appeared on screen in the notorious Black Mask, joins voiced the character on both the big and small screen until this point. But it makes sense. I mean, 91, man. He's had a long, successful career. So, I mean, as long as he's fine with, like, yeah, you can use it.
Yeah, and if
It's
you
fine.
guys are worried about it, I mean, obviously, as you age, the voice starts to change a little bit or whatever. And if you guys didn't know, they used a little bit of that AI technology in his latest gig with Obi-Wan.
Hmm.
Even though he did voice it, they cleaned it up. So don't worry about it. It's going to be fine.
It's
It's going to
fine.
sound great. Hey, you know what else is going to be pretty awesome? Because I'm excited about this one because I like the last trilogy, so I'm kind of pumped. The next Planet of the Apes movie is finally coming into focus with 20th Century Studios confirming the cast for the newly titled Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. The film from director Wes Ball will star Owen Teague alongside newly announced cast members Freya Allen and Peter McCann. Now, it's slated for a 2024 release. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes picks up many years after War for the Planet of the Apes. That one was the 2017 feature that concluded the original trilogy and used motion capture technology, of course, to tell the origin story of Caesar, a chimp that leads the simians towards revolution. Now, Andy Serkis, of course, starred as Caesar with Matt Reeves, yes, the Batman fame Matt Reeves, directing the final 2 installments to critical acclaim. So, yeah, I'm curious now to see where it's going after that.
Right, exactly. Because I mean, after those first initial films, and then coming back with like James Franco and old boy with I forget his name, but yeah, I mean, it's going to be very interesting. Those have always been really good with technology and motion
Oh, yeah.
capture. That's kind of why I go to those ones, to be honest. But I'm interested to see what's going to happen with that.
Yeah, me too.
Well, it's officially spooky season, guys. I mean, today, right
Ooh.
now, as we are recording, it is October 1st, so that's exciting. And
Yes.
Freeform's annual October programming, 31 Nights of Halloween, is back with a lineup of Halloween-inspired films, including both beloved classic recent hits. In addition, to fan favorites like Ghostbusters, Hocus Pocus, Halloween Town. This year's lineup will also add Get Out,
Oh.
2018, Halloween, Happy Death Day, and the sequel to A Quiet Place. So a lot of good things. Now, October 13th, we'll be honoring Tim Burton
Oh.
with a plethora of his films airing, including Frankenweenie and Edward Scissorhands, Corpse Bride, Nightmare Before Christmas, and Beetlejuice,
Yes.
among others. Of course, his hits will also be sprinkled throughout this month. So, I mean, a lot of good stuff coming to Freeform, guys.
Hell yeah, and good for them. I feel like you can't do Halloween without celebrating Tim Burton.
No,
I
you
mean, come
can't.
on, man. This is going to probably excite a bunch of people. I'm not in that group, but hey, for all you guys out there, maybe this is really good news. Original High School Musical franchise cast members Corbin Blue, Monique Coleman, Lucas Grable, Bart Johnson, Allison Reed, and Casey Stroh are apparently joining the 4th season of the Disney Plus series High School Musical, the series. Now, the streamer announced as production begins on the new season, and with the new season, it's going to take a meta turn, with the principal guitarist character announcing that Disney has decided to make the long-awaited High School Musical 4, the reunion movie, on location at their in-show high school. Now, Blue Coleman, Grabeel Johnson, Reed, and Casey Stroh will play themselves, resurrecting their High School Musical roles within the show, while the students will play featured extras in the universe movie. So it's basically we're getting High School Musical 4, but it's in the show that's getting to make the movie that's going to be the movie. That's a
Can
whole
you
lot.
keep up? Yeah, that's the thing.
Like-
Can you keep up? And honestly, like, where's Ashley Tisdale? Where's Zach Efron? And where's, is it Vanessa Hudson? Is that who it is?
Yeah.
Like her, Demi Lovato, and a couple of other ones like came out around the same time. It's so confusing. But where are they? They are the main ones. We need them.
Well, and
Just
that's
saying.
interesting because Vanessa Hudgens, I don't know about Ashley Tisdale, but Vanessa Hudgens and Zach Efron both said they would come back.
Yeah.
They would be interested in coming back. So was that a money thing? Like, I don't know, because they both wanted to come back and do this. So
Yeah. Interesting.
somebody dropped the ball. Or
Yeah, exactly. MLK/X, the 4th installment of Disney Plus's and National Geographic's period drama anthology series Genius, has set its lead cast. Kelvin Harris Jr. will play Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Aaron Pierre will play Malcolm X. Ruch Opa will play Cortita Scott King, and Jamie Lawson will play Betty Shabazz. Genius MLK/X will explore the formative years, pioneering accomplishments, and dueling philosophies and key personal relationships of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. While King advanced in the racial equality through the nonviolent protests, Malcolm X argued forcibly for Black empowerment, identifying identity, and determination.
There you go.
With their formidable wives, Cortita Scott King and Betty Shabazz, by their sides, King and Malcolm X became synonymous with the civil rights era and the fight for racial and economic justice. So, I mean, that sounds like it's going to be really good.
Heck yeah. Anytime they do anything, movies, TV shows about these guys, it's always good. It's
Mhm.
all, I mean, it's good to see history. And they had two very different takes on how to approach, but
Facts.
both were effective. So there you go.
Exactly.
All right, let's jump on over to Fox. And this was pretty good news because forever everybody thought it was going to be somebody else, old T Swift. But guess what? It's not.
No.
I'm, of course, talking about the Super Bowl halftime show. And guess what? This year's Super Bowl halftime show, Rihanna.
Mhm.
She's confirmed that she will be performing at the Super Bowl in February of next year, 2023, which is, of course, this year's Super Bowl. Rock Nation also officially confirmed the singer's participation through a statement released this week. Now, the singer shared a picture of an NFL-branded football on her Instagram. The game, which typically draws one of the biggest single TV audiences of the year, is scheduled to be played at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona on February 12th. The Apple Music Super Bowl halftime show. That's right. It's not Pepsi anymore. The Apple, I wonder why. The Apple Music Super Bowl halftime show will be telecast and produced by DPS. Rock Nation and Jesse Collins serve as executive producers, and Hamish Hamilton serves as director. Rock Nation is also serving as their strategic entertainment advisors of the live performance. So this is pretty exciting, though. I mean, she hasn't had any kind of new music out in quite some time, and everybody was kind of wondering, does this mean we'll get new album? Does this mean what new music's coming? I would guess yes, but I guess we'll find out.
Right, exactly. It's all a mystery. We understand that you're taking care of your newly born child, but we want music.
Yeah.
It's fine. Well, the 11th installment of FX's American Horror Story franchise is set for a fall premiere.
Oh.
FX has slotted Wednesday, October 19th for a debut of AHS NYC. Now, the announcement is also a confirmation of the title and the season's focus on the Big Apple. Now, the first two episodes of the 10 episodes, the first two episodes of the 10 episode season will drop at 10 p.m. Eastern time on FX and will stream the next day on Hulu. They will be followed by 2 episodes each Wednesday for 4 subsequent weeks. The plot of the new installment remains under wraps, but the cast is confirmed, though. It stars Joe Mantello, Billy Lord, Zachary Quinto, Russell Tovey, Leslie Grossman, Charlie Carver, Sandra Bernard, and Isaac Powell, and a couple of other people as well. But a lot of good things happening over there at American Horror Story. I know Ryan, or what's his face, is happy.
Yeah. Ryan Murphy.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
Ryan
I
Murphy.
mean, this show's just the show that will not stop.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true. This one, do we need this? I feel like we don't need this, but I guess Tubi thinks we do. Tubi released the official trailer for its original movie, Hot Take: The Depp Heard Trial. Now, this is a fictionalized retelling of this summer's closely followed defamation trial involving actors Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. The ripped from the headlines film is set to premiere Friday, September 30th. Oh, so it's already out. Hey, I missed it. Oh, can't tell. On the free ad-supported Tubi service. Now, Hot Take stars Mark Hapka as Depp and Megan Davis as Heard. Hot Take is said to evenly present both sides of the controversial story of the formerly married couple. But will they dive into the fact that Depp is now dating his attorney?
That's the real
Dun,
question.
dun.
That's the real question. Very interesting. We'll see how that one goes if anyone talks about it. Well, heading over to the bunny, Warner Brothers Discovery chief David Zaslav assured staffers this week that the company is not for sale, even though it's kind of looking like it is.
Yeah.
The chairman and CEO of the newly merged entity made his remarks at a company-wide town hall meeting that was beamed out via Zoom to Warner Bros. Discovery's 40,000 employees worldwide. Zaslav's comments came in response to a question from an employee. There's been speculation about more M&A to come for the conglomerate for quite some time, though. The event marked the first town hall that Zaslav has held since soon after the Warner Brothers Discovery deal was finalized back in April. He acknowledged the turmoil caused by the merger and corporate restructuring and layoffs. He also told the staffers that the company is moving as fast as it can to finalize hierarchies and staffing levels to get the other side of the integration process.
Mm,
Mm,
mm.
I just he just sounds like bullshit.
Yeah.
Everything he says, it's like,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
believe you, bro. I
I
don't believe you at all.
I don't. You can say one thing, but actions are louder than words, and your actions clearly make it look like you are trying to sell this bad boy off
Yeah,
at some point.
super terrified that they're gonna sell off this legendary film studio and it's not gonna own any of its content anymore.
It's gonna suck if that's the case,
Yeah.
man. Speaking of that turmoil, someone else is still kind of upset, I think. Leslie Grace shared a behind-the-scenes footage of her canceled DC Comics film Batgirl. The actor and singer shared a video on TikTok where she can be seen training for the superhero movie with the caption, "I couldn't resist." That makes sense. It played over Omar Apollo's Evergreen song in the background. It was in August of this year, of course, when it was announced that Batgirl was not moving forward, shelved, dead, completely, never going to see it. That's the second video she's done. The other one was You Don't Deserve Me Anyway, was a bunch of clips from the movie. I think she's pissed.
I mean, I would be shit. But I mean, it was a good video. I liked
Yeah,
seeing like
no,
the
yeah.
fight sequences and her running and
Hell
fire
yeah.
explosions, all the good stuff. Makes me sad that we will never see it.
I know.
Despite all of the off-screen drama, though, Olivia Wilde's "Don't Worry, Darling," a 1950s set psychological thriller with an off-screen drama that rivaled any antics in the actual movie, scored at the box office in its opening weekend, collecting a leading $19.2 million from 4,113 North American theaters. Now, guys, if you don't know anything about that, that's a lot of theaters.
Yeah.
And it only got not even 20 million. Now, at the international box office, the film added just another 10.8 million for a globally tally of $30 million. All the talk about Spitgate, awkward press conferences, and seemingly endless stream of tabloid fodder clearly did not keep people from seeing the film, I guess. In fact, it may have even boosted awareness. Surprising no one, 66% of the ticket buyers were female, nearly 70% between the ages of 18 to 34. Audience members under the age of 18, which accounted for 16% of the crowds, were people were saying especially positive things about it, I guess, giving the film an A- on Cinema Score. But I don't know, man.
I just have to say, what parents are letting kids under 18 go see that movie?
Yeah, that's
Like,
a question.
what?
Yeah.
And yeah, the real question is, what have you done for me lately? Because guys, that was last weekend. This weekend, it's not repeating as number one. It's not even going to be close.
It's not.
Hey, HBO's highly anticipated The Last of Us TV series has released its first official trailer, giving fans their first look at the adaptation of the popular post-apocalyptic video game. The trailer reveal came on September 26, which is nicknamed Outbreak Day in the Last of Us community. Now, the show premieres in 2023, and just like the PlayStation video game, the Last of Us series follows a hardened survivor named Joel, played by the Mandalorian star Pedro Pascal, as he journeys across the United States, decimated by a deadly disease called the cordyceps fungus. Along the way, he travels with a young girl named Ellie, played by Game of Thrones alum Bella Ramsey, who plays a crucial part in finding a cure for the zombie-like plague that has destroyed society. And you know what the best part about that trailer was? The surprise and nobody saw coming? Melanie Linsky.
Yeah, right.
She's in it. Nobody knew. We talk about this thing practically every week for the last year. Had no idea.
None.
But I'm thrilled. I love Melanie. Congratulations, Melanie.
It's going to
Like,
be very interesting. I'm excited to watch it.
me too.
There is another change, though, in the executive producer ranks of the HBO's The House of the Dragon. Jocelyn Diaz will not be returning to the Game of Thrones sequel, as it is headed into its second season, or the Game of Thrones prequel into its second season. Sources said that she had a 1-year deal with an option for a second, which did not end up being picked up. The exit comes on the heels of the series executive producer Miguel Spatnikchik, whatever the fuck his name is, stepping down after serving as co-runner for season 1, co-showrunner for season 1 with The House of the Dragon, co-creator and executive producer Ryan Condal. Now, who was the showrunner with Old Boy, but becoming the showrunner for season 2 and continuing to work closely with series and creator George R.R. Martin. So, I mean, it's very interesting. First season after all of this stuff, it's still going really well. Fans are still really enjoying it. So, I think they're going to be fine. I think they're going to be fine.
Yeah. And who knows what the reason? We're not getting any reasons behind the exits or the shakeups or whatever. But I mean, it's not affecting the show at all, like you said. So who cares then, right? NCIS New Orleans alum CCH Pounder has joined the cast of the HBO Max limited series Full Circle. She joins previously announced cast Zazie Beetz, Claire Danes, Timothy Oliphant, Dennis Quaid, Gerald Jerome, and Shay Cole. Now, in Full Circle, an investigation into a botched kidnapping uncovers long-held secrets connecting multiple characters and cultures in present-day New York City. Oh, okay.
Very interesting.
That's a great cast.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what else the story's about, but it's a great cast.
Exactly. Well, heading over to Paramount, they have removed its untitled Star Trek sequel from its upcoming film slate. The project, produced by J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot, had been set for theatrical release on December 22nd of 2023. Now, this news comes roughly 1 month after director Max Schuckman exited the Star Trek film, which was set for its 4th cinematic tour of duty for Chris Pine as Kirk, Zachary Quinto as Spock, Zoe Sanalda as Uhura, and Carl Urban as Bones. John Cho was Slew, and Simon Pegg as Scotty. Now, Skyman was successfully able to be courted by Marvel Studios to helm its Fantastic Four reboot, so he really wasn't missing out on anything.
Right.
Reuniting the WandaVision director with the studio. Now, Shakeman became the first attached to the Star Trek sequel in the summer of 2021. With the film, it's now off schedule. It leaves Paramount without plans for a film entry in its most valuable franchise. The last Trek feature came out back in 2016, which was Star Trek Beyond.
Yeah,
so
it's a while.
That's been what, like 6 years, 7 years?
Yeah,
it's crazy, man.
I know. And the TV side is just slaying. They've got so many awesome things, and everybody's like, "Can we get another film?"
Please.
Apparently not. Like, hey, did you see it? I saw it. Did you? I loved the trailer. It's freaking epic. It's so awesome. Guess who's back? Not just Wolverine. John Dutton.
Yeah.
The Duttons, baby. They're back. Season 5 of Yellowstone premieres November 13th on Paramount Network, which released a full trailer for the new episodes. Now, the new trailer gives eager fans like us a sneak peek at what's ahead this season for the Duttons. The new footage opens with John Dutton, of course, being sworn in as governor of Montana, and shows the chaos, enemies, and war that's immediately set up to follow.
Oh my
because
goodness.
they don't want him there, like it's including his son.
Yeah.
So I mean,
exactly.
Oh my gosh,
so much good storyline with Yellowstone. If you guys are not watching this show, please do yourself a favor, catch up now and be ready for that new season.
And be warned, because once you start binge watching season 1, you can't stop. You'll be all caught up real quick, I promise.
Exactly. Well, we can also tell you that Kevin Costner's Territory Pictures will team up with Morgan Freeman, Laurie McCreary, and their Revelations Entertainment to produce the Civil War spy drama, The Grey House, a 6-hour limited series for Paramount Global. The Grey House focuses on the unsung women who turned the tide of the American Civil War in favor of the North. A Richmond socialite and her daughter, a formerly enslaved African American, and a courtesan build the successful female spy ring operating right under the noses of the Confederate High Command.
Oh,
They risked their life and liberty to help win the war and preserve American democracy. That sounds fucking badass.
yeah, no, I love it. It's like, what was that one about the NASA, the women that the story about the NASA women that
Mm,
helped
I
contribute
know
to,
what you're talking about. I
right?
forget the name though.
It sounds like that, like the women that like basically helped win the war that nobody's heard about
Yeah.
before, and now we're gonna get to a history, man, history, and that's like Turn.
Yeah.
Turn, for the Revolutionary War helped develop this like spy system that like basically turned the tides of the war and everything. It's amazing how that like happens in all of them. But
Exactly.
Jennifer L is the latest addition to the cast of the Yellowstone prequel series 1923 at Paramount Plus. She will play Sister Mary O'Connor, an Irish nun that teaches at the School for American Indians in Montana. She joins previously announced cast members Harrison Ford, Helen Mirren, Brandon Skelnar, Darren Mann, Michelle Randolph, James Badgedale, Mary Shelton, Brian Garricky, Amina Neves, Julia Shelfer, and Jerome Flynn. Now, as you guys know, 1923 is currently in production in Montana, scheduled to debut in December. So that's exciting too, because that's a prequel and a sequel. It's the sequel to 1883, the prequel to Yellowstone.
Yeah, exactly.
So there you go.
But Taylor Sheridan's not done yet. Stephanie Muir is the latest addition in the upcoming Paramount Plus drama series, Lioness.
Oh,
Muir joins the previously announced series regulars Joey Saldana, Leslie D. Oliveira, James Jordan, LaMonica Garrett, Dave Annable in the series. Per the show's official logline, Lioness is based off a real-life CIA program that follows Cruz Melinos, who's played by Dialova, a rough around the edges but passionate young Marine recruit to join the CIA's Lioness engagement team to help bring a terrorist organization bring down a terrorist organization within. Now, Saldana will play Joe, the station chief of Lioness program, tasked with training, managing, and leading her female undercover operatives. Nora will appear in the series as Alaya, described as the daughter of a billionaire businessman with ties to terrorism, who is a high value target of the CIA. Nura is no stranger to the Sheridan verse, though, having previously appeared in multiple episodes of the Yellowstone prequel 1883 as Melody. So, a lot of good things happening there. He likes to keep it in the family.
heck yeah, LaMonica Garrett too. So like that's awesome that two 1883ers are going to be popping up. Mary McDonnell, a two-time Oscar and two-time Emmy nominee, of course, has been tapped as the lead opposite Justin Hartley in CBS's drama pilot The Never Game from director Ken Olin in 20th Century Television. Now, as we've told you, The Never Game follows the adventures of Coulter Shaw, of course played by Justin, who was raised by his paranoid survivalist father to be an expert tracker and who now makes his living as a rewardist, traveling America in his Airstream trailer, helping families recover their lost loved ones and their other most precious things, all while staying one step ahead of the memories that haunt him and the unanswered questions from his past. McDonnell will play Mary Dove Shaw, Coulter's solid, strong, and uncompromising mother who raised her three children on the remote California compound where her husband took them before his mysterious death. She still lives there, self-reliant, upright, the emotional center of Coulter's restless life and the key to the secrets of his past.
A lot of good stuff
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Now, Showtime is targeting a November release date for its Bill Spector docuseries, and it's unveiled a trailer that highlights guns and mayhem surrounding the legendary and controversial record producer. The premium cabler is launching a 4-part series, Spector, on November 4th. The series will look at what happened on that fateful night of February 3rd, 2003, when actress Elena Clarkson was shot dead in his mansion. The victim was a charismatic and once prolific film actress whom Spector had just met that night. Through the lens of this notorious crime and infamous trial, which followed, the series explores the stories of both Clarkson and the man who was convicted of her murder. Now, I know nothing about this story. That's wild.
Oh, dude, well, he was like always kind of eccentric and out there and just a weird guy. He worked with some like freaking legends, though. I mean, he was a solid, legendary producer, and so it was kind of just like everybody knew he was weird. But when he just meets this woman, invites her over, and by the way, she went. What? You just meet him and you go straight, like whatever, and then to have him kill her,
Mm,
like yeah, just crazy, man. And
yeah.
wait until you see it. I hope they get it right. I don't know who they're gonna cast, but his hair was all like freaking just like he looked like a freaking wild man crazy dude. Like
Mm.
I would never have gone into his house. Like what the fuck? You're gonna like it. It's gonna be good. This is not good. I think this is going to upset a lot of people. This is kind of sad news. Trevor Noah is apparently nearing his last laugh on The Daily Show. The comedian who came out of near anonymity to take over the program from Jon Stewart in 2015 plans to exit the flagship Comedy Central series after a 7-year tenure that saw him transform it for a new generation of viewers who are more at home on social media than they are at cable outlets and broadcast networks. It is not immediately clear when his actual exit will take place or whether Paramount Global Cable Network has even begun to consider a successor. So, I'm just kidding. I won't do it, but I know that's going to upset a lot of people because it has been a popular 7-year run. Every host that's hosted that show has been massively successful and gone on to huge things. So,
Yeah, agreed.
The next guy better or woman better be pretty good.
Exactly. Well, NBC Universal's Universal Pictures upcoming horror title Halloween Ends, hitting theaters October 14th,
Yes.
released its final trailer this week. The footage sees Laurie Strode, the signature character played by Jamie Lee Curtis, and the 45-year-old horror franchise seeking bloody revenge in a final battle with the manic Halloween's own Michael Myers. That might leave only one of them standing, or none of them. Who knows? The Halloween franchise was relaunched back in 2018, and the final film sees Strode determined to liberate herself from fear and rage and embrace life by finally confronting the evil she can't control once and for all. Directed by David Gordon Green, Halloween Ends also stars Andy Machakek, Will Patton, Kyle Richards, Omar Dorsey, Nick Castle, and James Jude Courtney. Now, it is set 4 years after last year's Halloween Kills that was unleashed a new string of terror. It was really good, so I'm excited to see this one. Are they finally gonna put it to a close?
I think so. I
We'll
think
see.
this is like the definitive end, but every time they say that,
Yeah.
yeah. So Robert Eggers' long-awaited Nosferatu is starting to take shape with Bill Skarsgård in talks to play the title character with Lily Rose Depp as his co-star. Now, Eggers is set to write, direct, and produce the new imagining of the cinematic classic, which follows the gothic tale of an obsession between a haunted young woman, of course, going to be played by Depp, in 19th century Germany and the ancient Transylvanian vampire who stalks her, bringing untold horror with him. Yeah, I mean, that's a famous character that everybody loves. They've used him comedically and dramatically in so many different things. I think this is going to be a great take on it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it sounds good. Well, guys, another American Pie is in the works, and this one will be penned by Sajetta Day, and she is set to develop and write a new installment of the long-running sex comedy franchise for Universal's 1440 Entertainment and the production arm of Universal's Film Entertainment Group. Now, the pilot details have yet to be revealed, but the story is based on her original pitch and is being described as a fresh new take. So that's exciting.
You put your, wee in one pie. It's a sex franchise.
That's what
I
it
mean,
is.
that's how it works.
Exactly.
The Queer as Folk reboot has been canceled after one season at Peacock. The entire first season of the show was released on the streamer on June 9th. It originally received a straight-to-series order at Peacock back in April of 2021. Now, the Peacock series was the third iteration of Queer as Folk. The original British series aired for 10 episodes between 1999 and 2000. Showtime, of course, then adapted the series for American audiences with their own version that actually aired for 5 seasons between 2000 and 2005. But oh well, that's it.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, 3 of Dick Wolf's franchises, Law and Order, One Chicago and FBI were the most viewed broadcast series of their respective season premiere nights on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Universal Television loves this guy and serves the studio for each of these bad boys. In addition, the ninth Wolf Entertainment series that returned during the fall TV premiere week, Seven brought in higher ratings than their most recent series
Oh,
finales. Those were FBI, FBI International, FBI Most Wanted, Law and Order SVU, Law and Order Organized Crime, and Chicago Med. I mean, he just runs that fucking studio, so he's not going nowhere.
no, no, no. I'm going to say it. The Law and Order crossover between the three shows for the first time ever was fucking epic. Well done. Well done. Sony, here's one that you weren't expecting. You remember the call? Oh, yeah. Tarzan, the classic pulp hero created by Edgar Rice Burroughs, might be heading back to the screen once again. Sony Pictures has picked up the screen rights to the character from the Burroughs estate, Edgar Rice Burroughs Inc., and is seeking to do a total reinvention of the character and intellectual property. Now, no writer, filmmaker, or producer are attached as the studio looks for a top down reimagining of the ape man for audiences in this time space of the 21st century. How do you reimagine Tarzan?
Yeah, how many times we're gonna see this story?
I mean, like I don't understand. He ends up in the jungle raised by apes. How do you reimagine that? Like,
Yeah.
if that's not the story, then he's not Tarzan.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's going to be very interesting. And I mean, yeah, like I said, to bring this character back to life, okay, whatever. Paul Bettany is set to join Tom Hanks and Robin White in a film here. Where? No, right here. Here. With Robert Zemeckis directing, Eric Roth is adapting the script for
Oh.
Sony Pictures, and they will release the film in theaters in the U.S. with Miramax holding international rights. Yeah, Miramax is still around.
That's right.
Based on Richard McGreer's graphic novel, here is described as a breathtaking and revolutionary odyssey through time and memory. The innovative film is centered around a single geographic location in New England, starting as wilderness and later becoming a site of a home, where the story of love, loss, struggle, hope, and legacy
Oh.
play out between couples, families over generations. The project came together earlier this year, becoming one of the bigger packages to hit the market, given that it would reunite Forrest Gump team of Tom Hanks, Zemeckis, Wright, and Roth. So that's
Yes.
exciting.
Yeah, I mean, that thing won a lot of Oscars. So, I mean, maybe the reteaming is going to do the same for that film. Who knows? Two-time Tony-winning actor and Emmy nominee Matthew Broderick is joining Sony's R-rated Jennifer Lawrence comedy No Hard Feelings. He will play the rich husband of Laura Benatti. They'll portray the parents of Andrew Barth Feldman's character, who is befriended by Lawrence's ne'er-do-well character. The movie is set to hit theaters on June 16th. Now, we still don't know a lot about what this movie is. We just know it's Jennifer Lawrence, and it's probably going to be pretty fucking good.
Probably. Vanessa Williams' personal story about the scandal that forced her to resign her Miss America crown in 1984 is getting a small screen treatment. Sony Pictures Television has optioned the rights to her story to develop as a limited series, with veteran Near Marin executive producing. Williams made history in 1983, becoming the first Black woman to be crowned Miss America. Weeks before completing her reign, she was forced to resign her title under pressure from the organization when controversy ensued after nude photos of her were taken prior of her Miss America win were published without her consent in Penthouse magazine. Man, that's the same one that did fucking what's her face, right? Lily James's fucking what's her face?
Yes.
Faced with adversity and start of Pamela Anderson of her career, Williams was able to overcome the scandal and become an award-winning actor, singer, and one of the biggest in the entertainment industries with one of the most remarkable comeback stories. Williams said in a statement, quote, "This project is increasingly personal to me. There were so many inaccurate and untrue accounts of the events surrounding this period of my life as a mother, as a Black woman, and it is important to me to tell the truth and be told, documented by my perspective. This is not just a story about racy photos and misogyny and racism. I want to shine a light on that for the future generations. I was not only able to survive what could have been a career ending scandal, but rose above it and have achieved a body of work that I am extremely proud of. I look forward to continuing my long relationship with Sony, Near Mirren, and Mark Nicholson, and work closely with my partners Kathy Ireland, Stephen Roseberry, and John Caruso, Steve Glick to bring this story to screen. So a lot of good stuff there.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one because she did get a raw deal with that, and she was able to recover and have a huge career. And I think it is important for a lot of women out there. Let's jump over to Lionsgate. Stars is set to rebrand as Lionsgate Plus in 35 countries, along with rebranding its logo, but it will remain Stars in the US and Canada. Can we just get past the fucking plus? Why is everybody the pair of businesses, as you guys know, we've been telling you, are currently going through a separation, and a number of media entities are rumored to be interested in acquiring Stars, including Canal Plus and Roku, with a sale expected sometime before the end of this year. So I'm just so tired of Plus.
Yeah, right. I mean,
Lionsgate Plus.
Yeah.
Ooh, original.
yeah. We'll see. We'll see. Why not Lion's Den or something like
Yeah,
that? I
just
don't.
anything.
Yeah, who knows? Lionsgate, highly anticipated film centered on Dennis Rodman, 48 Hours in Vegas during the 1998 NBA Finals, may have zero in on the actor who will play the infamous basketball star.
Oh,
Sources say that Jonathan Majors is in early talks to play Rodman in the 48 Hours in Vegas. While a deal isn't closed yet, sources say that Major is very much on board and negotiations are headed in the right direction. Lionsgate won the rights of the spec in the highly competitive auction last August, with Phil Lord, Chris Miller, and Adidas Stood producing the film. The film is inspired by the crazy story of how the NBA star Dennis Rodman went on a madcap adventure with his skittish assistant GM in the middle of the 1998 NBA Finals. It will detail budding friendships that neither one of them ever thought was possible, but it will end up solving both of their problems.
yeah, it was a crazy story. I mean, and the Last Dance with Michael Jordan, they addressed it in
Yeah.
that. So it's kind of just like, but boy, Majors, Jonathan Majors, that guy is just like busy. Ant-Man and the Wasp, the Kang Dynasty, Secret Wars. Now this one, I mean, that guy is like killing it. Director Ruben Fleischer is boarding Now You See Me 3. Yep, that's right. You heard that right. It's coming, guys. Lionsgate is behind the third installment of the Magic-centric franchise, which launched back in 2013. And of course, starred Jesse Eisenberg and Woody Harrelson, as well as Isla Fisher, Dave Franco, and Morgan Freeman. Now, Seth Grahame-Smith, the scribe behind the Lego Batman movie, Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, has also boarded the film as the screenwriter. The new installment will reunite old characters as well as introduce new players to the world of illusions known as the Four Horsemen.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. I've loved the first two. So
Yeah, I love the first one. I didn't ever saw the second one.
Oh,
but,
yeah, pretty
yeah,
good.
Yeah, but yeah, very interesting. Now heading over to Amazon MGM, the big budget Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, had a big opening weekend on Nielsen's SOVD charts, outdrawing House of the Dragons among streaming users. It was not, however, the biggest opening ever for Amazon Prime Video in terms of overall viewing time. The Ring of Power captured about 1.2 billion minutes of viewing time following its September 1st premiere in the US, the only streaming title on top of the billion minutes for that week. While the debut of Rings is among Prime's Video's best openings ever, and the first series of the platform to capture number one overall ranking on the Nielsen chart, it is not the best, though. That honor still belongs to Reacher, which had 1.8 billion minutes of viewing time for its opening weekend in early February. One key difference, Reacher full 8-episode season debut all at once, giving Prime users about 6.5 hours worth of show to watch. Now, Rings of Power premiered with only 2 episodes totaling 2 hours and 12 minutes of runtime. That works out in an average about 9.5 million viewers for the 2 episodes for the twice of the Reacher's opening of like 4.7, the opening frame. But I mean, I just don't see a lot of people talking about it. So,
Yeah.
it is what it is. I'm still team House of the Dragon.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of people do talk about Reacher though. So
Yeah,
that makes
they
sense
still
to
talk
me.
about Reacher.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, let's jump to next Netflix. Now, of course, they had a huge event this past week, and oh my God, they released everything under the fucking sun. Don't worry, we've got it all for you. Let's go. The next installment in the Beverly Hills Cop franchise is continuing to add some star power to the all-star cast. Kevin Bacon is set to join Eddie Murphy in Beverly Hills Cop Axel Foley. Now, production on the sequel is underway already with Mark Malloy directing. Murphy is, of course, back as Axel Foley with Judge Reinhold, my buddy John Ashton, Paul Reiser, and Bronson Pinchot also reprising their characters from the previous installments. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Taylor Page are also on board as new characters. The franchise moved, of course, from Paramount to Netflix in the winter of 2019. I'm so excited to see that film, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Fans of Manifest were treated to its first trailer for the show's fourth and final season on Netflix's Tudum event. Part one of the show's final season, which consists of 10 episodes, will debut on the streamer on November 4th. The supernatural drama series that follows passengers and crew of a commercial airliner who suddenly reappear after being presumed dead for 5.5 years. Now, after part one premieres November 4th, the second half of the season, which consists of another 10 episodes, will premiere at a later date. As you know, Manifest was notably revived by Netflix after NBC canceled the show in June of 2021. After 3 seasons on the network, shortly before it was canceled, the show was added to Netflix and skyrocketed in popularity by topping viewing charts, convincing the streamer to revive the series and give a proper send-off with a final season. Makes sense.
It does make sense, totally. And I'm just going to go out on a limb and say maybe not the final season. I think it's going to follow the Lucifer thing, and it's going to be so popular they're going to go, hey, let's do another one. I don't know. Now, this is a popular show that you have to wait 18,000 years in between each season. But guess what? We're finally getting season 5. Netflix revealed the premiere date for The Crown season 5 during its online event on Saturday. The dramatized series about the British royal family is set to return on November 9th with an entirely new cast. That's right, they're doing it again. Imelda Staunton takes over from Olivia Colman as Queen Elizabeth II, while Jonathan Pryce will play her husband, Prince Philip. Meanwhile, Dominic West will play Prince Charles. Elizabeth Debicki will portray Princess Diana. Leslie Manville joins as the Queen's sister, Princess Margaret. And Johnny Lee Miller stars as Prime Minister John Major. Now, season 5 is believed to cover the family throughout the 1990s, although the writers and producers, including creator Peter Morgan, have remained tight-lipped as ever regarding which life events from the royals' lives they plan to bring to the screen. The casting has given fans some kind of clues because, as you guys know, we've talked about on past shows, they've cast Daoud Fayed and the whole kind of everybody that would signal they're going to go with the death of Diana. So
Yeah.
no big surprise.
I mean, it only makes sense. Come on now. Netflix has released the first official footage of its Bridgerton prequel, officially titled Queen Charlotte, A Bridgerton Story.
Oh.
A new limited series spinoff will chronicle the early years of Golda Roosevelt's Queen Charlotte from the main Bridgerton series. India Armaifo from Line of Duty plays the young Queen Charlotte in the new timeline. Here is the official logline from Netflix. Centered on the Queen Charlotte's rise to prominence and power, this Bridgerton's verse prequel tells the story of how the young queen's marriage to the King George sparked both great love and a societal shift, centering the world of the Tan inherited by the characters in Bridgerton. I mean, I'm only really freaking excited about this because I want to see how she transitions into being the person she is. Like, you can tell there's a love story there with the king in the original Bridgerton series, but she's also kind of a bitch. But we'll see how it is.
We'll see why she is, maybe. Yeah. That'll be awesome. I'm super excited about this one. Darren Star's Emmy-nominated escapist romantic comedy Emily in Paris will launch its 3rd season on Netflix on December 25th. 1st. The streamer announced the date and revealed a teaser for the upcoming season during its event. The new footage shows Emily, of course, played by the lovely and talented Lily Collins, as she finds herself at a crossroads in every aspect of her life, deciding the pathway she will choose regarding her work and love life. Now, Emily will have to figure out exactly where her loyalties lie and what those decisions mean for her future in France, all while continuing to immerse herself in the adventurous lifestyle that wandering through the city of love provides. Now, while season 2 ended with a cliffhanger suggesting that Emily would perhaps leave Paris, this teaser sees Emily still living a thrilling life in the French capital, hanging out with her best friend Ashley and romantically involved with Elfie, her British boyfriend. The teaser also sees Emily having some tension-filled interactions with Gabrielle, her on and off French romantic interest. So clearly she's staying in Paris.
Yeah,
It's not
exactly.
called Emily out of Paris. I mean, so
No,
yeah.
exactly. Well, another exciting thing happening at the event was Millie Bobby Brown's Enola Holmes is back on the case in the
Oh,
official trailer of Enola Holmes 2, an extension of the iconic Sherlock Holmes character created by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. The franchise stars Brown as the youngest sibling in the Holmes family, who must come into her own as a capable detective while facing down her brother Sherlock, played by Henry Cavill, who I'm guessing is going to have a more prominent role than the first one.
right.
The official trailer for the sequel comes about a month after Netflix posted a play teaser poster for the film, which is highlighted the franchise's main character hiding in plain sight in the middle of a crowded area. The sequel is slated to release on the streaming service on November 4th. So mark your calendars.
Yeah, awesome. Now, Noah Centineo, who of course we're going to see pretty soon in Black Adam, has officially gone from high school heartthrob to CIA spy. During Netflix's event, the former To All the Boys star revealed that his upcoming espionage series is titled The Recruit and will premiere December 16th on the streamer. He also shared the first photo from the show, which featured him staring something down, a villain maybe, from behind a door with a cut on his cheek. Now, according to the logline, the recruit centers on a fledgling lawyer at the CIA that becomes enmeshed into dangerous international power politics when a former asset threatens to expose the nature of her long-term relationship with the agency unless they exonerate her of a serious crime.
Oh,
Oh,
that's a dark.
heck yeah.
Netflix is always here for the dark stuff.
For
Like
real.
one of their huge flagship series, The Witcher. Now, this one's we're talking about the spin-off series. It's going to make a 2023 the year of The Witcher. The Witcher spin-off series, The Witcher Blood Origin, will debut December 25th, and season 3 of the main Witcher will be shown the following summer in 2023. Fans last visited the Witcher universe nearly a year ago when season 2 of the Henry Cavill fantasy series dropped in December 2021. Since then, it spawned even more spin-offs. In addition to Blood Origin, the limited series, an anime feature is on its way, and a family-friendly Witcher series is also in the works. I don't know how the fuck that's going to work, but
Right?
okay.
I mean, they drop it on Christmas? Like, I don't even get that. John B. and the Outer Banks crew are back in Netflix's first teaser for the series' 3rd season, and it seems they finally found some peace on an island they call Poqualandia. The sky is so blue that it's almost turquoise. The sand is soft and looks like the gang has set up their own little sun-soaked world far away from Ward, Rafi, and the sheriff's department. Outer Banks was renewed for season 3 last December. Season 3 of Outer Banks is set to premiere in 2023.
Yes, and season 4 of Netflix's You officially has a release date. The first part will debut February 10th, and part 2 will be available March 10th. The series, led by Penn Bagley, had added more than a dozen new additions to the cast for the upcoming season. In the promo for season 4, which filmed in London, Joe reintroduces himself with a new identity as he somehow becomes a teacher in the United Kingdom. The
What?
teaser video also hints at personalities of many new characters this season, so
Oh.
stay tuned.
That's a dark, twisted show, too, man.
It is.
Speaking of dark, twisted, Netflix loves them, and I guess so does everybody else. Ryan Murphy's Jeffrey Dahmer series Monster overpowered the Netflix top 10 rankings this week, taking the number one spot with 196.2 million hours viewed following its September 21st premiere. During the September 19th to September 25th viewing window, the 10-episode limited series knocked off Cobra Kai Season 5 off its pedestal and down to the third spot. Season 2 of Fate the Wink Saga stayed at the number 2 spot for the second week in a row. So there you go. People want that dark shit, man.
It makes sense. It's fucking wild. This next one's very interesting, but it only makes sense because with them launching their streaming service, me talking about Apple, they needed some notable people. Remember when they had that event announcing their streaming service and all the people and creatives that they brought? Oprah Winfrey being one of them. She has decided to not renew their mega overall deal. This was first announced back in 2018, like I was just saying. Both sides have confirmed the evolution, but have declined to comment on this. It's understood, though, that both sides have agreed to continue to work together, but on a project to project basis. Now, their previous deal is ending. Winfrey and Apple TV Plus are currently collaborating on a documentary series, Sydney, about the life of the iconic Oscar winning actor, Sidney Porter. Now, the project directed by Reggie Hudlin is through Apple Original Films and debuted this Friday on Apple TV Plus. Winfrey and Apple also continue to collaborate on Oprah's Book Club, which is available both on oprahdaily.com and Apple Books. So there it is.
Well, good. So she's not completely gone from Apple, guys.
Yeah.
Chill. It's fine. Lisa Kudrow, you know her, you love her, Phoebes, will head to the cast for Apple TV Plus's Time Bandits, Taika Waititi's series adaptation of the 1981 Terry Gilliam film. The show has also cast several other actors: Kal El Tuck, Charlene Yee, Teddy Murphy, Roger Jean, Seni Gajadumova. I'm so sorry for that. Rune Temte, Kieran Thompson, and Rachel House. Now, Time Bandits, which Apple began developing in 2019, is described as a comedic journey through time and space with a ragtag group of thieves and their newest recruit, an 11-year-old history nerd named Kevin. Waititi is co-writer of the series and will direct the first 2 episodes.
Nice,
So,
man.
yeah,
Nice.
man.
Of course, we had to bring you all of the news with us coming back. Oh, there it is, though. There's
Yeah.
all your news. I hope you're informed now.
You're all caught up.
Well, it's time for the one, the only John Clarence Stewart to come on the
Yes.
show. We're super excited because this guy is so freaking epic. Definitely goes down in my top 5 all-time interviews that we've ever had. This guy's so special, and you're not going to want to miss this one.
No, for sure. I mean, this one rides all of the emotions, guys. We have a blast. We're laughing so hard. We're like, then it gets really deep, and then it comes out, and we're just like, it's such an amazing interview. But the biggest word I would say, inspiring. It's a very inspiring interview.
Big facts, big facts. Well, here he is. And if you're watching this video on YouTube, that interview is available right now on our channel. So after we finish the show, be sure to go watch that interview and listen to him discuss Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist, P-Valley, and his performance at 54 Below in New York City.
Yes.
But man, oh man, it's so good. But now let's do the top 5 segment. All right, now it is time for the top 5 segment. And this week it is heroines.
Yes.
That is not heroin, not like... We're talking about females who make huge impacts on our life, and these are females that we personally look up to. So it's very important for this to get passed along because it is females' time to shine, man.
Yes.
So we need to give them their recognition. Number 5 goes to Kamala Harris. Come on now. The first woman of color, like the first interracial woman to hold the highest one of the highest powers of the land. Come on. I mean, the way that she's able to talk to the younger people, and especially the younger women of color, the younger women in general, to inspire them to be what she is, if not more, every single day. I think that's very important, especially for this country who, a lot of men still treat women like shit. So they need to know in their hearts, they need to have somebody that they can look up to so that they can overcome hard times and become someone great, because it's inside of all of us. You just have to choose to work towards that greatness.
Facts. I mean, I can't argue about anything you just said there. That's all laid it out perfectly. My number five is along those same lines. I'm talking about Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I mean, in the modern era, if you're a woman and you have any significant rights, it's probably because of her. This woman was outstanding in leading the cause for women, appearing before the Supreme Court numerous times before becoming a member of the Supreme Court. She's just a phenomenal woman who inspired many, both men and women, to do the right thing. And she did not back down. And I think the one thing that I admire most about Ruth Bader is that she respected the other side.
Yeah.
If you didn't agree with her, it was okay. She respected your opinions and she compromised and she got along. And I think there's not nearly enough of that anymore. And I miss her dearly for that alone. Um, Beyond inspiring, I think just as at not only what she did for women's rights and for the legal system and for everything that she did on the Supreme Court, but just as a human being to inspire people to live your life the right way and not back down and not give in and stand up for what you believe in, but yet also compromise and respect others in the process. And I mean, I think she was like so key at proving that and showing that to everybody.
Completely agree, man. Completely agree. Number 4 for me goes to Shonda Rhimes. You guys know we're writers. We love writing our own projects. So, of course, she is going to be on one of our lists. Of course, not just Grey's Anatomy, but I read her book, The Year of Yes, with her like completely changing her mindset and her outlook on life, trying to power through and say yes to a lot of things, yes to a lot of different opportunities. And I think that takes a lot of courage and a lot of power within oneself to overcome one's uncomfortability and vulnerability and all of these different things. And in that book, she talks about, substance abuse and a whole bunch of like mental health struggles that she had while in the early years of Grey's Anatomy. So I thought it was only fitting to put her on this list because she is definitely someone I look up to in multiple ways. That is not just writing. She is just someone who I feel like paved the way for a lot of women writers, women show creators, women show runners, and everybody who is breaking into the entertainment industry that wants to put their foot down and listen, this is my show, this is my vision, you're not changing it. So I think that is very inspiring. So that's why she's on my list. Shonda Rhimes.
For sure. And my number four, and I guess we could just do my number four and your number three at the same time. You knew she was on our list. There was no way she was not on our list.
Come on.
Oprah.
Oprah.
Oprah, her story, her path to get to where she is today, coming from one of the poorest areas in Mississippi, the sexual abuse, all of the stuff she went through in her childhood, working her way up, the not getting the advantages of in the workplace and having to prove herself in the workplace over and over and over and over. And then taking the heat after proving herself over and over and over and over, being called a bitch and being called this and that because she was a powerful woman and stood up for herself. And how she transpired all of that and took all of that to become the woman that she is now. How can that not be inspiring to so many individuals, women, men, just everybody? She is literally a movement, in
Yeah.
my opinion. I mean, just like what she does, what she's done, what she continues to do, it's unbelievable for people.
Completely agree.
She's that woman that, if you want something done, go to Oprah because she's going to get it done.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, going back and watching her, the older stuff, like her original stuff when the Oprah Winfrey show first came out, and she was having like these town hall meetings with all
Yeah.
of these different walks of life and just having conversations, passing the microphone to everybody, and it being like this open dialogue. And even if, she didn't like what you were saying, you still had, your place where you could say it and you could have a conversation. I
Mhm.
thought that was very inspiring and very enlightening to see. And I read one of her books, one that she wrote before about her life, and coming from her being a news anchor and her just not having any confidence in herself and being a drug user. Not a lot of people know that she was doing some hardcore drugs
Yeah.
before, but now to overcome that and be one of these most notable women in history, I would say. I mean, the name Oprah, I feel like is known globally. So, I mean, she is so inspiring to young women, so inspiring to Black women, so inspiring to everyone, in my opinion. So, of course, she's on our list.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. She's a brand.
Yeah,
She is a brand, and believe me, she is an influencer because when she speaks, people listen. And there have been plenty of politicians, world leaders. People listen to Oprah.
it's
I'm
facts.
just, just saying. All right, my number three is Autumn Reeser. You know her, you love her, the actress, and she's on my list because she's an extremely inspirational person in my life. During a very difficult time in my life, she kind of helped me come out of that and guide me along with her own path. Just following her on social media and seeing her path and what she was going through in life and how she approached it and how she kind of changed her way of thinking, it altered my way of thinking and got me on a path to where literally everything from that moment has changed in my life. It's amazing what just little things can do as far as the way you think or the way you don't think or what you expect or what you don't expect and what you think should be but shouldn't be. All of that plays a role in mental health and your stability and your happiness, and she has been a huge part of making me see that and changing the course of things that I was doing in different ways to make me succeed. Follow her on social media. If you don't, you'll see what I'm talking about. She's extremely inspirational. She's always got a positive post. She's always trying to show the light and shine the light on other people and make their journey as successful as not just as hers but yours as well. Phenomenal. She's just a phenomenal person. She's very inspirational, and give her a follow.
For sure, for sure. Number two for me goes to Rosa Parks. I mean, this one shouldn't have any
Mm.
explanation. I mean, during that whole civil rights era, she was definitely someone who stood up for a Black woman's rights, a Black person's lives, and being able to, no, I'm not going to get up. I worked all day too. I also deserve the right to fucking sit here. So, I mean, just that. I mean, come on now. Her paving the way for other activists, young woman activists who are able to show their voice now. I think that's very important. She is definitely one of the first ones to, voice everything and to be a part of the civil rights movement. I feel like everybody from that era is so influential to everybody who is doing their part now. So that's why she's on my list. Number two, Rosa
For
Parks.
sure. I mean, many people credit her as the start of the modern day civil rights era. I mean, and rightfully so. I
Yeah,
mean, without her, without that event, who knows? But yeah, whew, what an incredible woman.
for real.
Speaking of an incredible woman, my number two is going to my mom, Polly Bergman. Um, we don't always see eye to eye, and we have some back and forth sometimes. But this incredible woman who has seen a lot and lived a lot in life, and just somehow is still kicking and still managing to find ways to be happy and live life to her fullest and do what she wants to do with never yielding. This is a woman who, at a young age, lost her husband and she had three young kids and was forced to give up the career that she always wanted to raise these three kids on her own. Um, and did so successfully, sometimes having to work multiple jobs to take care of us, but never did we go without and not have the things that we needed and or wanted. And it was an incredible journey seeing her do that and an amazing strength. And I don't even know how she gets through it. And at the end of all that, she lost one of us. She lost her youngest son, my brother. Um, and she got through that, which I can't even. I still deal with it every day somehow, and still have to kind of deal with things like that. How she's able to survive what she's been able to survive and get through what she's been able to get through and somehow still find the happy things in life and find the good in life when all the crap has been dumped on you is extremely inspirational to me, and I'm sure to a lot of people in my family and all the people that know her. She's just a genuine proof that no matter what life throws at you, no matter how bad it gets, you can still come out of it. You can still survive and you can still be happy. And that's the way to approach it. So, my number two, my mom, definitely one of the strongest women I know for sure.
For sure, man. And number one for me is also my mother, Connie Hanna, she is an amazing woman. Just everything she was able to do, she was also providing for three kids the majority of the time by herself. She did everything she could, whether that be things that were proper or improper. But man, oh man, she's a badass woman. And everything that I've been able to become and achieve is because of her and my stepfather, Levi. So I feel like what she was able to do and who she was able to bring in my life, like, affected me for the good for the rest of my life. And the lessons I've learned from her are instrumental, then I will pass on along to my future children. And I think, with everything that we all go through, whether that be health struggles, mental health struggles, anything like that, we all learn and adapt and grow as human beings. And that's what I've learned from her. I've learned how to grow and not be the same person you were 5 years ago, a year ago, 20 years ago. Always be adapting, always be learning, and always be able to change your mind if you want to, and just to continue moving forward and be as happy as you can be, even though we're all a little fucked up. But it's okay to not be okay. And that is definitely what I learned from my mother. So that's why she's my number one.
Yes. Well, anybody who knows me knew that this was most definitely going to be my number one. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. No way around it. The single greatest heroine in my life, the most inspirational person in my life, the one I do everything for, the one that changed my life the second I found out she was coming, my daughter, Emily. She is the single greatest woman I know. The way she attacks life every single day, the things that she has overcome in her young life and continues to just thrive. I could not be more proud of this young woman. I as her father, am supposed to be trying to inspire her and guide her and get her through things, but she has inspired me and guided me and gotten through me through so many things in life just by the way she is and the way she does things and the way she approaches things. She's so genuine and so caring, sometimes to a fault. God bless her. Never thinks of anybody but other people. She never puts herself first, ever. And needs to sometimes. God bless her soul. But she's just simply the greatest person I know, and like, I can't imagine life without her. I just think she's an amazing, amazing young woman who makes me so proud every single day and inspires me every single day and keeps me on track every single day. And yeah, my number one. And this guy kind of fond of her too, I think.
She's pretty cool.
Yeah, she's pretty cool.
She's pretty cool.
Emily, my number one.
Yes, guys. Yes. Who is your number one female heroine, or just heroine? Because, we know that it's a female.
Yeah.
So please let us know. Comment below. Just give us a nice little rundown of who that person is in your life. We love it. We love it.
Yes.
Now, the box office recap, like we told you about in the industry news. Don't Worry, Darling did come at number one with 19.4. Number two was The Woman King with 11 million. Number three was Avatar with 10.5. And number four was Barbarian with 4.8. And number five was See How They Run was 1.9 million.
There you go.
New movies coming out this weekend: Anvil, Amsterdam, Smile, which looks pretty creepy, Bros, which looks pretty funny, and Vesper, which I have no idea.
Yeah. Now, of course, Amsterdam was limited release this weekend. Comes out in October 7th. So coming up next weekend. Smile, guys, from what we're understanding, is going to lead the box office this weekend.
It looks pretty creepy.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, it really does.
But people like a smile.
Yeah, exactly. Movies you can still go see right now: Pearl, Bullet Train. Definitely go see Bullet Train. That made its way into my top 5 Brad Pitt movies of all time, to be honest.
And cracked $100 million domestically finally. So
yes, we love it. DC League of Super Pets, which is on HBO Max now if you don't want to go anywhere. Top Gun Maverick, Minions Rise of Gru. So be sure to check all those out. IMDb Pro's top trending segment. Oh man, the top trending movie was Don't Worry, Darling. I'm betting a majority of that was because of the controversy, and I'm sure a lot of people saw it. I wonder if Blonde's going to be next week. But we'll see. We'll see. Top trending TV show is House of the Dragon, and the top trending star is Millie Alcock. Man, it makes me so sad because they did a Crowns thing where they they completely
Time jumped and
recast like
recast.
it makes me so sad because I got so attached to her as the character. But they did say they were thinking about, doing flashbacks to where they could bring back these two characters. And so we'll see, man. We'll see.
Yeah.
I will say the first initial episode with the new actors, they were badass.
Yeah,
I
sure.
mean, they did some really good stuff. So continuing moving forward. Thank you guys so much for getting crazy with
You're
us.
good.
I
You're
don't
good.
know.
He's getting choked up about Millie, man. He
am.
really misses her.
I do.
Like,
I do. For watching Inside the Crazy Ant Farm and listening, of course, to 208.
yes.
Be sure to follow John Clarence Stewart
Yes.
on all social media. Thank you so much, brother, for coming on the show. It was such a fun conversation. Be sure to follow him. Like I said, you can follow the company on social media at Crazy Ant Media. Follow the podcast on social media at ItGap Podcast, and follow us both personally on social media at JLo Fantastic and
at Crazy Ant Guy 1970.
And when I say social media, I mean all social media.
Seriously.
We're everywhere. TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Shit. I mean, Pinterest.
I mean, everywhere.
Everywhere. Be sure to follow us everywhere. And be sure to subscribe to this podcast anywhere you listen to your podcast: Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Stitcher, and so much more. If you're watching this video on YouTube, hey, we appreciate you. Be sure to hit that like button on the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell for all the latest and greatest notifications coming out of Crazy Ant Media.
Yes.
And be sure to visit our website, www.crazyantmedia.com, where you can start rocking the latest and greatest Crazy Ant Media gear. We got everything for you. And you can also check out our film deadlines on our website as well. All the good stuff, man. All the good stuff. But there was a lot of good stuff to talk about in this show, to be honest. I mean, of course, the most exciting thing I feel like we're both most excited about is Hugh Jackman. We love Hugh. Okay.
Yes.
We love Hugh. Oh my goodness. It's going to be so good. And to see, I feel like fucking Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool are going to pull so many comedic moments out of Hugh Jackman and Wolverine. It's going to be so good.
Oh, and then yet it's probably going to be some of the most epic fight scenes that we've ever seen, because Wolverine is going to be Wolverine.
Yeah.
So how they're going to blend that together is going to just be unreal. And I made a very bold statement, and I am sticking to it. If we do indeed see Hugh Jackman don that suit, it could become, if not the biggest, one of the biggest MCU films of all time. People are so wanting to finally see him in the suit. I think it's going to be huge.
And clarify, he's talking about the brown and yellow suit, right?
Yeah, yeah. Because the one that they showed at the end of, that never made it into the film, but the one that was in the suitcase that they showed in the Wolverine, that was going to be in the Wolverine, that's the one I want to see him in. But if it's the blue and yellow one, whatever, as long as it's the costume and he's in it.
We need something that's actually like comic book accurate.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Like X-Men, the animated series. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be so epic.
I mean, you see how he's got exposed arms, and you see how jacked he gets when he's Wolvie. I mean, that with the costume, that shit is going to be.
And he's
so
already
bad.
started. If you're following him on social media, he already started working out. Like, I love it though. I love it. Hopefully he doesn't push himself too much, but so good.
Just one time for Ryan.
One time for Ryan. That's hilarious. And of course, we got to dedicate this show to the one, the only Oprah. Oh man. Thank you guys so much for getting crazy with us one more time on episode 208 of Inside the Crazy Ant Farm. Y'all have a great weekend and enjoy the freaking football season, because we know what's happening.
Yes.
We know you guys are watching football. So be sure to stay crazy, and we will see you next week, my friends.
Later.
Bye-bye.
27-14.
That what they finished at?
Yep.